Hello chaps, April the 4th, back on the plot now. Just carrying on working on this little bit down here. I've managed to level my slabs out a bit better, which is lovely. And now this bed here, I'm just going around it, trying to get the board around it. Trying to keep it straight, but I don't think the timbers are exactly straight, so we're just doing as best as we can at the minute. As you can see, this was kind of like a no-dig bed. It's had to go a little bit bigger than it was. Whoop, put my foot down hole. So yeah, as you can see, I've just put the wooden timbers round with a peg at the end of every timber, just so it's all secure. I'm going to do the same down here as well. Big red ant's nest right here, so I'll have to work around that without getting nibbled. But yeah, it's quite nice. It's a nice low maintenance bit of path coming all the way up here. And then obviously the two beds that I put in the other day. So yeah, absolutely lovely. Getting to that stage now, I need to cut the grass. You see it's all tufty at the edge of the beds. I have brought my strimmer down today. Whether I'll get it used or not, I do not know. I just don't know. And over to my shed. Somebody mentioned that my shed needs a coat of paint, and I have got some varnish in there, so you're right, it does need another coat. It's only made out of pallet wood, so it's not the toughest stuff. One thing I do want to show you at the minute, which is fairly exciting, is just down here. Now this is where my asparagus is. I always trim down the asparagus tops, but just leave the sticks in so I can see where I'm going. And if you have a look right here, I'm having a baby! Woo! Baby asparagus, that is. Now a lot of the early shoots, if there is a late frost, will get knocked back. But it shows that these plants are at least coming back for another season, which is nice. Look at him there. Look at that, beautiful. Oh, you can't see it actually. Look at that, beautiful. Let's cover him over, give him some protection. So, we're having asparagus again this year. Woo, lovely. It is that time of year now that the mare's tail, if you suffer with mare's tail, is going to start shooting up its ugly, nasty little spore heads. Well, it's just this little reproduction thing before the actual plant comes up. It sends up these ugly little, let me show you. You see them ugly, ugly little things there? They're full of like spores, they come out like a powder. So the best thing to do there is to try and get a bag over the top of them and break them off before they can release their spores. But this entire second plot is completely smothered in the stuff, so I'm going to be fighting a bit of a losing battle on that one. Where are you? There you are. Yes, horrible, horrible mare's tail. And that's one of its ways of reproducing. The other one is creeping under the ground. So we don't like you very much. Luckily, the good thing is about mare's tail, it'll come up everywhere if you've got it. It doesn't actually affect your plants because it roots that deep. It's not competing for the same nutrients. And in fact, it can actually end up dragging up a lot of nutrients from really deep down that's beyond the reach of most plants. So, you know, in many ways it's a good thing. I mean, a lot of the time I'll break off the heads, you know, and use them to mulch other plants with. I know people will be like, you can't do that, it's mare's tail. As long as you don't use the root, just the green bit, the fern that comes up, it's fine. It's quite rich in a lot of nutrients and silicas and stuff like that, so it's a good thing. That's the spin I try and put on it anyway, otherwise the stuff would drive me crazy. Woo! Right, I want to get my onions put out now. I've earmarked this bed here for them. Boom. That's all been raked out to a nice fine tilth. I'm going to stick some of the bloodfish and bone on, give it another little rake over. Then I've just got to like rake it, make some straight lines there. I'll use a bit of string and a couple of pegs. And then I'll get my onions out into there. We haven't had any rain for a while here and the ground does look very dry. However, you just have a little scratch under the surface. Look at that. There's all the moisture. It's only sitting half an inch under. So they're absolutely fine there. A lot of people will worry about that, but that's more than enough for a plant to live on. Look. Nice, moist soil. Oh, right, so I'm going to get all that sorted out now, and the next time you see me, it'll be with onions in my hand. So, here's my onions. As you can see, these were planted from sets. These were Wilco sets, and they're called Stuttgarter. These guys have got away absolutely lovely. There's not a single one of them that hasn't fired. So, well done. What you might notice with these, if you've done them this way, is that the bulb has gone squashy and sort of wrinkled up a bit. That's perfectly normal, because what happens is, at the very early stages, it will use all of that energy in the bulb to put up the leaves. And it's not until quite late on in the season that they'll actually start to bulk back up again. So, as long as all the foliage looks really lovely and nice and everything like that, don't worry if the set itself's gone a bit squish. Right, I'm going to get these in. I'm going to plant them probably 6-inch apart, and then probably about 10-12 inch between rows as well, so I can get my hoe down there. And other than that, I'll plant them at exact same depth that they are now. I'm not going to plant them any deeper or any shallower, so that you can still see the top of the bulb. And that's that really. It's onions, lovely. When you do come to pot on or plant out anything, do make sure that the soil is well watered. That's because the roots then, they won't be sitting dry, they won't be brittle, there's less chance of them snapping. And it also helps hold the compost together in these plugs as well, so I can pull them out and drop them in as one without too much root disturbance. So give them a good soaking before you do anything like this. Alright, I can't find my string, so I've got this piece of wood here. I've just put a mark every 6 inches on there so I know roughly where I'm at. And I've also got my straight line. And as you can see, once removed from the cell, just a nice little plug plant there. A little set of roots ready to go away, so you know, we're happy with that. Boom. I'm going to work away on them now and get the whole lot put out. And remember, a good watering in is not just about watering the plants, it's about settling the soil, settling the roots, getting rid of the air pockets, so always water them in. Alright, boom, onions! And that's it, that's my onions in for now. They've had a good watering in now. I'm probably not going to bother watering them unless it gets really, really dry in the summertime now. They'll get the roots down, they'll be stronger for it, they can find their own water. If I keep the soil too damp, it's not going to encourage them to stick the roots right down, so I'll let them, leave them to it, yeah, and fingers crossed. When the onions are ready, you'll know about it because the nice tall foliage will flop over. That means that they stop growing. Well, I've just had a little tickle around with my strimmer as well, so everything's looking a little bit tidier as he squints into the sun. So all my grass is trimmed now, it's looking quite nice. So yeah, starting to get a real feel for it now. Spring is in full effect. Everything is well and truly back in life. So as you can see, that's the plot layout for this year. All nicely trimmed. So yeah, I've just got to start filling them up now. I'll get some stuff sown actually, so I can actually start filling it up. Oh heck! Right, I better move, get some sowing done. Because it would be fair to say I'm a little bit behind this year, but don't worry, the plants will catch up. If the weather's right, they will. Oh, my shed's a right mess and all. Better do 2 minutes on that, Anna. Never ending. Right then, you lot. Do you know what gutters are? Yeah? Do you know what peas are? Yeah? Right, you're going to be able to follow this one quite easily then. I'm going to do some gutter peas. What it is, you use a little section of gutter to sow my peas in, and then when they grow, all I have to do is dig a trench and slide them out. No transplanting, no messing about. Bosh, all done in one. Minimal fuss, minimal bother. So I'm just going to use a multi-purpose compost in here, something like this. Now other composts are available. This one's 50% peat, which is naughty, but I'm still going to use it. So I've just put a bit of tape over the end of these, stop the soil falling out, and then I'm just going to fill them up. Probably just 2 inches soil for now. Putting compost into gutters. Right, so what I've got here is I've got this first lot that I want to do. This is a pea, but it's a mangy toot one. This is called Oregon Sugar Pod Mangy Toot. or Marge 2 if you want to get technical, Del Boy. These ones look remarkably like little peas, look at them. And what I'm going to do is just sow them into one of these gutters. I'm going to go for like a pattern, like a 5 on a dice. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, just to give me a decent spread on these. Don't want to oversow them like I did last year. They did alright last year, but I ended up with too many plants all close together, to be fair, to be honest, to be fair, to be sure, so I did. So I'm just going to get a bit of that. These will probably land in about, what, inch and a half apart, something like that. And then the other variety that I'm going to go for as well is these ones. These are Kelvedon Wonder. These are slightly different looking. They're a bit more green, a bit more like the peas that you'd find in shops, what you would buy for like eating. Right, I'm going to do the same again now with a little figure of, you know, the 5 on the side of the dice. Oh, I've got to label them. Need to know the difference between my Mangy 2 and my Kelvedon Wonders, don't I? Yes. Right then. In pencil, please, because pen washes off. Kelvedon Wonder. Right, and now I'm just going to cover them over with a little bit of compost, and then I'm going to give them a good watering. They're going to sit in my greenhouse until they germinate. I should imagine to see something within a week. Then when they're about 2 inches tall, which I imagine will be in 2 or 3 weeks, they'll just go straight outside into a little trench, like I say, slide them out. As soon as I've done that, I'm going to sow some more straight back into the gutters, because then I'm going to get a nice sequential growing, because these guys tend to come up and all fruit at the same time, so you just get a frantic amount of peas and then nothing. So, you know, just give yourself like a nice sequential harvest. And that's that then. Just a quick word note, and then just another quick note on watering as well. These seeds, like a lot of other seeds, float. So if you flood that, seeds are all going to come up to the top and unearth themselves. So nice fine rows on there. Don't soak them. Give them a little bit, let it soak in. A little bit more, let it soak in. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with all your peas bobbing around like lost mariners on a stormy sea. Laters. Now then, these little babies are my mesembryanthemums. These are the little firework looking flowers that open during the day and close up during the night. As you can see, these have all come up really, really well. So what I'm going to do, because I oversowed each cell, I'm just going to knock them down to probably 2 plants in every cell. It does mean getting rid of the other plants. If you want to try and save them, that's up to you. Me, I've got more than enough than I need here, so the other ones are just sacrificial. They always were. It's tough parting with a plant, but you've got to do it for the benefit of the other plants. And there we go, they're all now thinned out to just 2 per cell with these mesembryanthemums. And these ones here, they can go in the compost. Right then, my little garden gang, that's about it for today. I've done as much as I can. I think I've got quite a lot done actually. Cut my grass, I've put my onions out, I've sowed my peas, I've done a couple of other bits and bobs, a bit of housekeeping. It's not looking too bad really, is it? We're getting there. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye. Bye.